it.
The internet is out and I'm bored.
Read a book.
I don't wanna.
Go to bed.
I don't wanna.
Stare at the wall.
I don't wanna.
What do you want to do?
I want you to tell me a story.
So you don't want to read a story, but you want me to tell you a story? Do I look like Mother Goose? Alright. So what story you want me to read? Little Red Riding Hood? No. We're going to read my version of Little Red Riding Hood. And I'm going to call it The Littlest Riding Hood. Ooh. Okay. So, a long time ago, like fairy tale land, it was so much animals, filled with green, it was lush, it was gorgeous. However, one day a fog rolled in and everything just started dying off. Like the crops, the people started leaving, like animals are just gone. And the king, he sent out like a green rider looking good. He sent out a black rider looking stunning. And none of them ever came back. So, the king's pacing around his forest, not knowing what to do. So, what does he do? Absolutely nothing. He's a king, not a queen. Now, the queen, she looks over the village and she sees everybody panicking except for this one little girl who was playing outside with a wolf, and she's just living her best life. And she's saying she wants to be a knight. She wants to help her village. She wants to live, okay? So the queen goes out and talks to her and asks, do you really want to help save your village? Do you have the skills to do that? Well, don't you know, this little girl shows off her skills, and the queen's like, okay, come with me. Back inside the village, back inside the throne room. Yes. The king says, today you have shown very much promise. You have proven yourself worthy, and the queen believes in you. So if the queen says you're good, you're good. So he gave her like this red cloak and said, you know what? Today, I will dub you Tana's youngest rider. Tana is the place where they live. It's a beautiful village, or it used to be anyway. So the little girl, she's all happy and exciting. She's like, ooh, I leveled up. And on top of that, she takes this gorgeous crimson red hood and she mounts her beautiful chestnut horse, who also was named Chestnut. And she takes her dog. Well, really, he's more of a wolf, but he got that. So the wolf is named Shade. And she gets on the horse and Shade comes running out the woods, and he jumps on top of the horse, and they just take off. She's feeling good. She's feeling amazing. And they start riding off into the forest until it starts to get darker, and the fog is thicker, Then all of a sudden, she hears a branch snap underneath the horse's feet, and she's looking around. She's like, what's going on? But she doesn't worry about it, she got it. She keeps riding off into the distance, and then all of a sudden, quiet. Nothing. No birds, no animals, no nothing. And then in the trees, she can see like a shadow just zipping through. She looks, and she's like, okay, this isn't right. This isn't it. Right? So what does she do? She calls out, hello? Is anybody out there? So that's what she calls out, right? And of course, she's not expecting a reply. However, Shade jumps off of the horse and instantly attacks after the shadow. The shadowed person goes, so you're the one that sent after me. Tell me, little child, what do they call you? So she's not scared, she puffs up her chest and she looks dead at that shadow and goes, they call me Redmond. Well, little Red, they call me Azriel. I know who you are. You're the reason our crops die and our animals are leaving. I came here to stop you. Ezekiel, I may be young, but I am no fool. I knew I fell into your trap the moment I stepped into these woods. But, please, if you could just grant me one wish. Taken aback by this, Ezekiel leans in close, kisses her softly on the cheek, and says, "So it shall be done, my little Red." Now I know what you're thinking. Ezekiel and Redmont just walk off into the forest, holding hands. What happened to the horse? The horse went with him. What happened to Shade? Well, the loyal companion walks out of the forest, and at the edge of the forest he finds their grandmother, the one who raised Little Red, and she's staring out at the abyss, the animals that were gone, the lush green forest that was gone. It's all coming back, and she instantly knows in her heart what happened. She looks at the edge of the forest. She sees Shade there with a single patch of red cloth in his mouth. She takes it, holds it, falls to her knees, and starts crying. She looks back up through the tears. Shade is gone. Did he go back in the forest? I don't know. But what I do know is that in his place was a single patch of red roses that grew nowhere else in the kingdom. And that's what happened to the littlest Red Riding Hood. She never returned, but her courage brought back life to Tana. And even now, the red roses bloom at dawn. People say her spirit rides again, cloak blazing, wolf at her side, guarding the kingdom that she saved and she loved. And years later, the grandmother did pass, and the king and queen and all the village people gathered as they made a small memorial next to the patch of red roses so that the grandmother and her granddaughter could always be together. And they leave a single bone next to the memorial for Shade.